The crystalline spires of Zarian Prime gleamed under the binary suns as Queen Velinara stood before the massive viewport of her palace, her 6 arms folded in the traditional gesture of mourning. The translucent blue skin of her face bore the permanent etching of grief lines that had deepened over the past 7 cycles since her daughters vanished into the void. "Your Majesty," came the melodic voice of her aide Kethron, "the human emissary has arrived." Velinara's mandibles clicked in irritation. Another species seeking trade agreements, no doubt. The humans had only recently joined the Galactic Confederation, their crude technology and violent history making most civilized races wary. What could they possibly offer the Zarian Empire? "Send him away," she whispered, her voice carrying the weight of endless sorrow. "I have no patience for diplomatic niceties today. Your Majesty, he claims to bring news of the lost ones." The Queen's entire body went rigid. In 7 years, no one had dared speak of her daughters except in hushed whispers. The 3 princesses Zara, Nyx, and little Lyra had been on a routine diplomatic mission to the Outer Rim when their ship disappeared without a trace. Every search party, every psychic probe, every technological marvel of the Empire had failed to find even a molecule of their vessel. "Bring him," she commanded, her voice barely above a whisper. The human who entered her throne room was nothing like what she expected. Where other species sent their most decorated diplomats, this one appeared ordinary medium height, brown hair, wearing simple clothes that looked travel-worn. But his eyes held something she recognized, the same haunted look she saw in her own reflection. "Your Majesty," the human said, offering what she assumed was his species' version of a bow. "My name is Marcus Chun. I'm not here as a representative of Earth or the Confederation. I'm here as someone who knows what it's like to lose family." Velinara descended from her throne, her 4 legs carrying her with fluid grace down the steps. "You dare claim knowledge of my pain, human?" Marcus reached into his jacket slowly, producing a small holographic projector. The image that flickered to life made the Queen's breath catch in her throat. It was Zara's royal signet ring, unmistakably crafted from Zarian's rare quantum crystal. "I found this on a salvage ship in the Badlands," Marcus said quietly, "along with traces of your daughter's genetic material in a cargo hold that had been modified as a prison." The Queen's legs nearly gave out. Kethron moved to support her, but she waved him away with a trembling arm. "They live? They did when I started looking for them 6 months ago. Your Majesty, they were taken by slavers, a ring that specializes in exotic species for private collectors. The trail led me through 17 systems and cost me everything I owned to follow." "Why?" Velinara's voice cracked. "Why would a human care about Zarian princesses?" Marcus was quiet for a long moment, his jaw working as if fighting some internal battle. "Because 3 years ago, my daughter was taken by human traffickers. I searched for her the same way you searched for yours. I used every resource, called in every favor, spent every credit I had." His voice grew thick. "I found her too late." The throne room fell silent, except for the soft humming of the life support systems. Velinara felt something she hadn't experienced in years, terrible and fragile. "But your daughters, they're fighters, Your Majesty. Especially Princess Zara. When I finally tracked them to a private compound on Regulus 7, she had already organized an escape attempt. They just needed someone on the outside." "You freed them?" Velinara whispered. Marcus shook his head. "We freed each other. Zara saved my life twice during the extraction. Nyx carried me when I was wounded, and little Lyra, she held my hand when I told them about my daughter." The human's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Your daughters taught me that family isn't just about blood. It's about choosing to care for someone, even when it costs you everything. Where are they?" Velinara's voice was barely a breath. Marcus smiled, the first genuine expression she'd seen from him. "Waiting outside your palace, Your Majesty. They wanted me to make sure you forgive them for being gone so long." The Queen's composure finally shattered. 7 years of grief, of guilt, of desperate hope came pouring out in a wail that resonated through the crystalline walls. She felt Kethrun's supporting arms, heard the commotion as guards rushed in, but all of it faded when the throne room doors burst open. "Mother?" Three figures rushed in taller than she remembered, scarred by their ordeal, but unmistakably her daughters. Zara's regal bearing was intact despite everything, Nyx's quiet strength evident in her protective stance, and Lyra, sweet. Lyra had grown from a child into a young woman with eyes that held wisdom beyond her years. They collided with her in a tangle of arms and tears and desperate whispers of love. Over their heads, Velenar met Marcus's eyes. "I can never repay this debt," she managed through her tears. Marcus wiped his own eyes and turned to leave. "You don't owe me anything, Your Majesty. But if you're ever willing to help other parents find their lost children, the galaxy could use someone with your resources and determination." As the human walked away, Princess Zara looked up at her. "Mother." "He's right, Mother. There are so many others still out there. And humans, humans, don't give up on family ever." Queen Velenara held her daughters close and watched Marcus disappear through the palace doors. For the first time in 7 years, she felt something other than grief filling her hearts. She felt purpose. Within a month, the Zarian Empire had established the Lost Ones Initiative, partnering with a small but determined group of human investigators. And at its head, serving as special advisor, was a man who had taught an alien queen that sometimes the greatest strength came from the most ordinary. People who simply refused to let go of love. The galaxy would never be the same.